Hi, welcome to another battlefield terrain tutorial. So we've got an Imperial outpost here buried deep in a forest. So as per usual with this series, I'll show you from start to finish how you can build this terrain up here. It'll show you the processes involved and what materials you can use to achieve the result that you see here. But follow along step by step. You can take elements of this or copy this entirely for your own games of Warhammer 40,000. So as per usual, I'll put as many links as I can in the video description below, just so you can source these materials. The first stage is your foundational step here. So it's the battle mat. This one's from gamemat.eu, 6x4 in size. I've just checked on their website. They did this one in the 60 by 44 inches for your regular games of 40k, 10th edition. So it's the mouse mat material. So you've got this rubber material here, and then you've got the design printed on top. It rolls out nice and flat. It comes with a carry case as well, and it just gives you all the foundational colours that you need. It's got sort of parched ground across here. You can see some actual Eldar type runes on this mat as well, and then you've got this grassy effect here with some rocks as well on this mat. So this one's called Lost World. I'll leave a link for it in the video description below, but it kind of gives you your colour palette. So we've got green tones going on here, sort of parched ground, parched earth sort of effects with this. The great thing about the battle mats is they're nice and quiet for dice rolling. They're figure friendly as well. If your models fall down, they're going to have a soft landing when they land on the board. It just gives you that head start. It just gives you all the colours that you need. It just rolls out, it rolls up. You can store it away, carry it around. So the battle mats really are a good job. So link for that below. GameMat.eu, they have 11% discount code that you can use, and if the offer's still running, there's a 20% discount code that you can try as well, and that's across the store, so that'll be for the battle mats and also the pre-painted terrain sets as well. But that's your foundation on the board. The next step is terrain. So to build up the rocks here, I'm using a pre-painted terrain set from GameMat.eu, so this is the Grassy Rocks Set from them. Pre-painted, pre-made, so you just unbox it and use it. I have made a slight modification with this one. The green grassy areas on this just come painted green. So I took PVA glue, just layered it on, and then just dropped some flock on top of that. And that's given us the grassy effect just there. It's easily done, took about 10 minutes to do. So you can do that if you want to create that extra enhancement. So these rocks are great for giving some height, some obscuring terrain on the table. So there's this large piece here. You get two of these smaller arches. You get two larger arches. You get two medium-sized rocky outcrops, and there's another large feature across there. And you can see the other pieces being used. So if you've got a nice central feature for your game, which is always good for your battle, something to fight across, then you can supplement that with the rocky outcrops just around the edges, and that fills up the table quite nicely. So I'll leave a link for that set in the video description below. So that builds up the table quite nicely. Foundation, rocky outcrops, then add something to fight across in the middle. So these terrain pieces here, they are quite unique. They are from the 1990s, the late 1990s. It's the Imperial Bastion, it was called, and the Imperial Firebase. They came as like a plastic and card set. I stored them away for years. I brought them out again. I based them, put a base on them just to give them a firmer foundation, and then painted them up here. So painted the metallics, used some grey, sprayed some grey on them as well, added some extra bits. These are cocktail sticks here with the barbed wire set that you can get just to make them a bit more grim dark. So those are unique to me, but you can just take any kind of terrain feature that you want, and it's always good to try and place it towards the center of the table. So the two armies, the two factions, have got something to fight across, and usually there's an objective in the center of the table. So it's great to fight across something that's stationed in the middle of the board. So that's your main feature, and then just accessories and extras, just to really blend the whole table in to add extra effects. So we've got pine trees here. These are made by a company called Heike, if they're still available. You can check out model railway shops and online stores. They have a lot of trees, model trees ready made up. The Heike set, you get like a large bag. I think it's like 50 trees in the set that you could get. So I got a couple of sets and made an entire forest of them. I mounted them all on coins, just old coins being used. So they've got like a base to sit on. And then I used PVA glue, painted them up on the branches, and then dropped some green flock just to flesh them out a little bit more, just to give them a bit more substance. So all individual trays, that means you can do individual clumps, larger forest sort of areas here as well. And then to really help them sit on the board, some green lichen. You can get off bags of that and get that off eBay. Again, model railway shops are great for this stuff. Lichen you can use in all different ways. So that's there to blend that in. And then these logs, sticks, they're from oak trees. Real sticks, just broken up. Bit of lumber here. You can imagine the defenders here have been clearing some lumber and so on. As you can see, piles of sticks just scattered around the board. Just gives that real sort of forest kind of feel. And then the final bit to blend this all in is just the pieces of rock here, the stones that I use for all different games. Just the grey, brown tones being used there. And it's great for just blending in the edges of terrain, as you can see, just to add that little bit of extra realism to the board. Then to finish off, to give it that real 40k kind of feel, you've got your accessories. So you've got the quad gun here, ammunition crates, which James has painted up, just some Games Workshop accessories. Just dot those around the board for extra realism, as well as some tank traps and barricades across the table. And you combine all those things together, you give yourself a nice atmospheric board for your games of Warhammer 40,000. So I'll leave as many links as I can in the video description below, but you can take elements of this, you can copy the whole thing entirely, but the main theme for this one, something to fight across in the middle. And we've gone for this sort of deep forest kind of feel here, a little bit of Endor, Star Warsy kind of vibe with this one going on. But you can imagine two factions fighting across here, perhaps Imperials, Space Marines, Res Militarum, trying to flush out some kind of Xenos incursion on this board. But as per usual, we'll finish with we'll fade out to some music, capture the flavour of this board. Keep a lookout for more videos in this series. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.